Hello, if you found this video you must be one of FSE's elite. I'm just doing a quick tutorial on how to refuel the HotStart Challenger 650 within FS Economy. So the aircraft doesn't let you use the normal fuel controls, you have to physically fuel it through a truck, and that seems to be causing some issues. So this is the way I've been doing it anyway. I'm in career mode, I've already filed a request for the refueler. We're just waiting for him to turn up. I was kind of hoping he would do so by now. Oh, is this our refueler? Turn right, turn right. Rats. Where is this guy? Well, this part is realistic, sitting around waiting. Oh, there's our refueler. Now he turns up. Alright, so now that refuel is here, so we need to get 1400 kilos. I'm in kilo mode in career mode. So what we are going to have to do is a little bit of converting, because the aircraft's going to need litres and FSE needs gallons. So I've just googled a Jet A conversion chart. And this is what we've come up with. This is going to help us do this conversion. So oops, no, it is on that one. So 1400 kilos is what we're trying to part with. So I'll note that there for the moment, just so it's easy to follow through with what I'm doing. So the first thing we need to do is get that into gallons to work out how much we need to actually put on the aeroplane. So 1400 gallons from kilos if we follow the arrows here. So we're going backwards, so this will be a divide by 3 to get into US gallons. So 1400 divided by 3 is 466 US gallons to depart. The aircraft in FS Economy at the moment has 327. So that'll make our uplift 139. Now we want to try and keep this slightly under what FSE is going to give us, so we'll just stick with 139, we won't round that at all. So now that we've got it in gallons, we need to get up to litres. So as the refueler here, pump this many litres. So we are now following from the gallon up to litres, so we're going through the arrow this time, so it'll be a times by. So this will end up being 534 litres we need to add to bring us up to 1400. So 534 is the number we are asking our friend here for, so we'll wind that up. Well, this is a big jump, 520 to 560. We'll take 520 then, so we're got a bit of margin anyway. Was it 1380? So we'll go with 520. So we'll ask him for that, and now he's going to wander downstairs, and we are just going to make sure the fuel here, we've got 870 kilos on board, so we're going to keep an eye on that at the same time as the fuel panel while he's refueling. Let's sit down and do the pop-up for this. So the pop-up panel, here, ground, interior fuel panel, this is what we're after. So we're going to turn the fuel panel on. The fuel truck should be almost ready down there. So I'm going to open the main tanks first, because that's where we want the fuel to go to initially. And in theory, he should stop pumping at 1400 or thereabouts for us. So we'll see how close he gets. Okay, so he's missed it a little bit there. We're at 1260 it looks like it's stabilising at. So we're not even close to 1400. So we'll recheck our math then. We're at 1400 is what we're chasing. That's settled on about 1280. So another 120 kilos on our conversion chart into litres. That's going to be divided by 0.8. No, that's definitely not right. Oh, it's 0.0. That's why. 120 divided by 0.8. 150 litres more we want. So if we have an option there, we'll take 160, we'll just cut it off.
I'm gonna go start up the pump.
So it's bumped up a little bit there. We're at 1300, so we weren't too far off with all these rounding errors. We're just going to keep an eye on the fuel figure now and let it finish off to 14. So you're starting to pump the fuel again now. Alright, we're going to close this side and try and fill the other side up a bit more. So this time we're going to be close enough. We'll have 1400-ish. 14.
Refueling is complete, Captain. Do you need anything else?
No, that will be all.
Signature on here, and I'll be on my
Squiggle.
Here's a copy for your records. Have a nice day.
Alright, so it's stabilising, probably be slightly over. So we'll come back over here now. We've got 1420 kilos. It might even drift up a little bit from there. Now we need to convert that back to FSE gallons. So if we look at our chart again, we've got 1420 kilos. We're trying to get the US gallons divides by 3. So 1420 divided by 3. So in FSE we should have 473. So I'm going to start with 473 and we'll see where we end up. Oh, not that many. 473. Okay, so now in theory, FSE should think that the aircraft's got 1400 odd on board. We have 1430, so we're going to be pretty close. So I'm just going to try and start the flight now. And we'll see what happens. So it's attempted to load 473, airborne refueling not allowed. So it's put... yeah, so we've got more fuel in the tanks at the moment, 1430, than FSE thinks we should have, 476. So we've probably undercut it slightly, so I'm just going to add 5 gallons to it. So we'll refuel to 478. Alright, and we'll try again. So it's just gone to load the 478 gallons. Of course it can't physically do that, but we can see now that 5 gallons was enough to get it above the point that it was going to cancel the flight. So now we have the Challenger refueled to 1430, which is sufficient for our flight calling for 1380. And FSE is quite happy with this fuel load. It's below what FSE thinks should be on the aeroplane, therefore we've not airborne refueled, and it's happy to let us go flying. So at this point we can close up and fly this flight, and it should finish on the other end perfectly fine. So I'll just reset the scenario. We'll head over to one of the other aeroplanes, and we'll do it in the reverse scenario where it's already sitting there with a heap of fuel on board. And I'll go into non-persistence mode to demonstrate the same philosophy in gallons and pounds instead. Alright, for part 2 I've rented my C-130, which we'll use for this demonstration. It's got 1238 gallons on board the aircraft at the moment, so we're going to work it in the opposite direction using non-persistence mode, which will enforce us to use gallons and pounds in the aircraft, because they don't give you the option to change that in anything other than career mode. So I'm going to note down 1238 gallons in FSE. And if we do some quick math on that, 1238 gallons times 6.7 running through this way on the arrow gets you into pounds. So it should be around about 8,300 pound is what we'd be chasing in this. So we're going to select non-persistent mode. We'll get rid of that. And we'll make this full screen. There we go. Alright, so I'm just going to quickly get the aircraft online so we can get to the refueling point. And we're all set to refuel. So what I'm going to do now is use the internal panel, and I'm going to have to go to the refuel through the ground services and then challenge to 650 when you're in non-persistent mode. And this is going to force us to use gallons. So we've got 8,300 pound was what we're looking for. This has 4,360 pounds on board. So 4,360 is going to be divided by 6.7, flowing back the other direction into US gallons. I've forgotten what I've said already, 4,360, that's it. 8,300 minus 4,360 is 3,940 pounds. Divided by 6.7 should be near enough 590 gallons is what we're looking to uplift, and that should get us to 8,300. So I'm going to use the preset function on this. So we're in gallons, which is the only volume unit you can use in non-persistent, so we're going to hit that. And after preset, I'm just going to tab up and down to the number that we want, which would we say 590 gallons should be around about the number. Oh, that's a bit far. Okay, so we press the enter key and that'll arm the fueling to stop there. So I'm going to hit start, the little fuel icon comes up indicating there's pressure. And now up here, turn the fuel panel on. We're just going to use the main tanks here. I think from memory they're 4,500 a side, so that'd be 9,000 pounds, so we don't need to use the OGs. If you were using OGs though, we'd turn off the mains, and the tail and OGs both need to be open together, so we'd turn on these shut-off valves and that would start pumping into the OGs tank and tail tank, but we won't do that today. So that's all set. We'll let it pump away and see where we end up. So the pump's slowing down now, we're pretty much at our 590, and there it is, the valves have closed, the pump stopped pumping, and it's going to settle at probably about 300 pounds short by the looks. So it just needs a few minutes. They've simulated the rest of the fuel running through the lines into the tanks. and all that sort of variableness that comes with it. So it's going to settle around about 8200 by the looks. So I reckon we're going to be close enough here. So I'm going to close the fuel truck panel. We'll close the shut-off valves into the tank, 82, so we're within 100 pounds. It's still trickling up a little bit as well, so I reckon that'll do us quite nicely there. Yeah, looks like it's pretty much stabilised, so we should in theory be able to hit start flight. Okay, so the flight started, 12:38, it's allegedly gone in, which we know is 8:30. And it looks like it's pretty happy with it. So once again, we've managed to refuel the airplane and start the FSE flight. So it is a little bit more difficult given you can't directly control the fuel and have to use the fuel truck system in this thing. But there are workarounds to be able to get your flight started, and in theory that should now end at the other side once we're all completed. So hope that helps you use the HotStart Challenger 650. Any questions about it, you can find me in the forums, and always have Discord DM address in there if you're on the FSE Discord as well. Have a good day.